Welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our community. Appreciate all of you that have liked, commented, and most importantly, shared. Really like getting the message out there. Today I want to talk about what to do when you don't know what to do. I have had this happen many times in my career where I have a vision of what I want a business to do, but I don't actually know what I need to do it. And I feel a little bit lost at times or confused and, a bit in a place where you don't know how to make a decision because you don't know exactly, what to focus on. And this isn't a unique thing. If you're feeling like you've got kind of that broad vision of where you're trying to go, but you don't really know what iterative steps you need to take to get there, you're not alone. Like, this is a very common feeling, and you really have to think about things a little bit differently. So whenever I get in a position where I long-term direction know what I'm trying to accomplish, but I don't short-term direction know what I need to do, I start to just think about like the components that make up, the broader goal. And maybe there are some sales metrics that I need to hit. Maybe there's some marketing things. Maybe there's new distribution models I need to open up. Maybe there's product gaps that I have to close. You can't do those all at one time. And sometimes the amount of things pulling at you from all the different departments, from sales to marketing to operations to support to product, like, it can be daunting. And because there are so many pieces, and again, depending on the complexity of your business, there's so many different things that you have to accomplish, for your business to be successful, it's impossible for you not to feel overwhelmed at times and almost to the point where you don't know what to do. And sometimes it can be even worse, where you may not even have a crystal clear picture of where you're trying to go long term. You just know that you've got a great idea or a great business, and it's just something that you want to do, but directionally you're not entirely sure of where you go. Like, that's okay too. All I try to boil this down to is, how do I have incremental wins on a very, very short-term basis, so that maybe the long-term view has time to marinate and come into perspective as to what it is. And we beat ourselves up so many times because we don't have this rock solid business plan, and we don't exactly know how to get where we're going, or even where we're going exactly. We directionally know where we're going, but we don't have a definitive, like, this is it. And that's okay. You just have to look at what forward momentum things you can do so that you can get to the right place. Because you've heard this a million times, and I can't remember who said this first, but the only time you are ever going to fail is when you stop. Because as long as you keep trying to move forward, while it might not be a straight line, and I talked about this in an earlier podcast, you directionally are going there. Now, you might be taking steps back at times, you might be going sideways at times, but you're still moving. And it's only when you stop, it's only when the momentum doesn't go any direction, that you're going to fail. So if you're in that position where you just simply don't know what to do, just keep moving forward. Whether that means selling what you have, even if it may not be what you want long term, like, sell. Whether it's delivering on a product that maybe you feel has a gap and you want to close it, it's what you have. Deliver it. If the process that you have for whatever your support or whatever you're doing operationally is totally manual and broken, it's what you got. So keep doing it. And over time, dedicate, part of your brain to think about that long-term solve, but don't stop moving. Because it's when you stop moving and when you stop having, momentum, is when you have the biggest opportunity to throw in the towel, quit, and fail. So if you are in that position where you're either overwhelmed because there's just so many things, or you're in a position where you don't exactly know where to start, the path isn't clear, just keep moving with what you know and don't worry about what you don't know. It's always going to be there. And I talked about this in an earlier podcast about, perfect. Like, we all strive for perfection, but even when you get to perfect, the target moves, right? There's a new version of perfect because you're better at what you did. And so you can't be so fixated on what you don't, and you need to be fixated on what you do. So keep moving, have forward momentum. You only fail when you stop moving. And if you don't know where to start, just focus on what you know. Don't worry about what you don't, and give yourself time to let that come into clarity. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient. I hope you find this helpful. Please remember to like and comment, and most importantly, share and get the message out there. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm Ron Dichter, and this is Projecting Grandeur.